Welcome to My Hometown, the program that explores clubs, organizations, businesses, and issues across Nassau and Suffolk counties and sheds light on the different towns that are making a difference.
Hello and welcome to My Hometown. I'm Bill Horan, along with my co-host, Nassau Community College student, Matt Leonard.
Today, we're going to learn about the Manna Project of Long Island, a food pantry that serves Nassau County and its adjacent communities with a goal to end food insecurity for adults and children in the communities they serve.
Our guests today are Yvette Hester, the founder and CEO, and Christina Curry, a volunteer with the Manna Project of Long Island. Yvette and Christina, welcome to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College 90.3 WHPC.
Thank you so much for having us.
So, Yvette, tell us, what made you want to get the Manna Project on Long Island started, and when did all this happen?
Well, it all started back in 2020 during the pandemic. I founded the Manna Project because I wanted to help the families in our community. And so I started up the nonprofit organization, which we are a 501c3 food relief organization, and we're serving hundreds of people in our community to date.
And that's great, but I always wonder, what were you doing? Were you at McDonald's having a hamburger one day and said, I'm going to found a food project company, and I'm going to help hundreds or thousands of people? Or were you just walking down the street? When does this inspiration come?
Well, not only during the pandemic, but my mother, we had a restaurant growing up. And at the restaurant, my mom, she would help everyone that come. You know, people have money, people short on money, people with no money. And I would see her all the time. My siblings and I, we would see her all the time. She's serving everyone. And so that just stayed with us. It stayed with me. And so that's another reason why I do it, the inspiration behind it. It's to help people.
That's a great backstory. I love that.
It's the truth.
So, no, I'm sure it is. But it really, I didn't think you were making it up. But it really is, because it's continuing what your parents did, and that's wonderful.
Tell us about the mission of the Manna Project of Long Island.
Our mission is we have four imperatives. The first is to end food insecurity for adults and children in the communities that we serve. We want to improve the health and well-being of our communities through access to healthful and nutritious foods, and that's one of the things that we focus on at our pantry. We try to stay away from the packaged goods or canned goods and offer more fresh fruits, vegetables, meats, grains, things like that. We also want to reduce the disease burden of pre-existing health conditions for our target population.
Definitely.
We offer diet-specific foods. So if you're a diabetic, there's a package for you. If you have high cholesterol, there's a package for you. And the last part of our mission is to expand and enhance strategic partnerships to improve access to health-promoting resources.
That really is fantastic. I mean, Matt, I didn't know if food pantries could even do that, or did it, in terms of if people have a food restriction or high cholesterol or some of the other issues you mentioned, and you actually have the specific foods that they're allowed to have.
Yes, we do. And that's a really important part of our operation.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's excellent. Are there any specific eligibility requirements if someone is food deprived and feel they need some food? Do they just come up to you? Do they fill out an application? What is the process, if any?
You want me to hand up? Oh.
Well, I mean, we try to keep it really simple. I mean, there's definitely basic information that we like to collect when clients, we call them clients, come to the Manna Project for assistance. But if they are uncomfortable with providing information, and a lot of times we encounter that people don't want to give their home address, they don't want to, talk about their, personal situation. No one's mandated or required to do so. We help you regardless.
That's right.
So yes, it's there's no requirements at all. You can be anyone, and we will help you with no questions asked.
Matt, before you asked the next question, before the show, I was saying to Christina, these ladies are like doctors. I mean, doctors save lives. And if people don't have food, they're not going to live too long, let's be honest, right? And by you going out and doing this, and Yvette, you as the founder, and Christina, you as a volunteer, I think that's amazing and wonderful. I mean, you must really feel fulfilled every evening. Am I correct?
Absolutely. I didn't realize how fulfilling this work would be. And I was talking to someone not too long ago, and she told me that I was, using my talents for a greater purpose. And I really loved it when she said that, and it kind of opened my eyes. It really is fantastic work, and nothing, there's no feeling like it.
That's right.
Really no feeling like it. And I never knew that it would be this.
No, you really
rewarding.
are doing fantastic work. And as you said, you're saving lives out there, and probably not only physically, but to the people mentally, knowing that there's someone out there who cares about them and willing to do this work and get out there and maybe get them on their feet and get back into society again, and where they can almost wave to you and say, now we're going to donate to you and help out, rather than be on the other side of the door. So great job that you're doing.
Where does the Manna Project get the food items that are available for those in need?
I can answer that. We get the food from Island Harvest, from families, and donations from family, friends. We also get food from the financial institutions such as J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, from Bank of America. We also medical facilities such as Northwell LIJ and St. John's Episcopal Hospital. So we get the food from various groups of people.
Yeah, there are a lot of amazing organizations out there helping us. And, Yvette just name dropped, and they deserve that recognition, because they really do care about what's happening in our communities and supporting us in every way that they can.
What are some of the different ways to donate to your organization? Someone hearing this, I'm sure they want to reach out, and even if they're not wealthy people, so to speak, or have a lot of excess spare food or money, how could they reach out and help you in some way and help your clientele?
Yeah, so there's a lot of different ways that individuals can donate. You can donate food, of course. You can make a monetary donation. You can donate clothing. We accept and distribute clothing as well. You can donate toiletries, and you can also donate your time, which is probably the most important thing. We're always looking for people to bring their skills and their talents to help us enhance what we do and further our mission. And you can find all of this information on our website at tmpny.org. If you want to support us in any way possible, all you have to do is register, fill out a quick form, and we'll reach out to you.
And of course, the name of the organization is the Manna, MANNA Project.
Yes.
Correct? So if someone's listening, they want to look that up or Google it and find out more. Let me ask you a personal question, because I found different answers among different groups.
And it's also Fighting Hunger with Love.
That's going to be your T-shirt. We have to talk about that later. Yeah, I bet you do. What if someone's looking and they go through their pantry and a food is, 2 weeks from being technically expired? Now, we're told that even when you hit the expiration date, it's after it. Are you allowed to take it? Can they bring that into you? Can they donate that food?
Yes, they can. If it's not expired, we will accept it. A lot of people who come to our pantry, they're looking for something to eat that day. And so, that type of food is welcome. We don't turn anything away.
And just a note to my fellow neighbors or people who are listening to the show, a lot of time I'll look through Family Pantry and was, why did I buy that? Or I have 2 bottles of mustard and I thought I didn't have it or something. Very easy way to grab 2 or 3 or 4 things that you could donate. And wherever, we hope it's the Manna Project, but to your local food bank or someone close by, and you're helping someone with that amount of food, and it may be life-saving to them or be very meaningful. So, more than you might think. It's a little trouble for you to get in the car and drive 2 miles or something. But take a look at the pantry. Do you have a lot of extra in there before that dates hit the expiration date? And even if it's close to them, take them, donate them, help someone out.
Yes.
Matt?
You are listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Matt Leonard along with Bill Horan, and today we're learning all about the Manna Project of Long Island, a food pantry that serves Nassau County and its adjacent communities with a goal to end food insecurity for adults and children in the communities they serve. Our guests today are Yvette Hester, the founder and CEO, and Christina Curry, a volunteer with the Manna Project of Long Island. Now, let us in on a bit of a secret here. What would you say, as two people that obviously work very closely with the project, are items that people may not know are needed for donations? Like, obviously there's food and toiletries, as you said, donate their time. Is there anything people may not know they can donate that you really need right now?
Just various toiletries, you know. It could be a toothbrush. It could be, you know, toothpaste. It could be, you know, anything. You know, someone else's junk may be a treasure for somebody else, something that somebody else needs. So nothing really comes to mind as like, you know, that thing that people don't really, you know, realize that's needed. Can you think of anything that we've come across?
Basically everything.
Yeah.
You have all different kinds of people that coming in with different needs. So it's basically whatever you have is what, you know, a lot of times people will need. So.
Bill, I don't want to speak for you, but me as someone that's learning about this right now, I didn't know food pantries even took toothbrushes or toothpaste as donations. I mean, that's
why
incredible.
we're doing this show.
Exactly.
So we get the word out.
We're letting the people know, Bill.
We are. We're not as important as they are, but we do help. We get it on the air. We get people to know about it. And I'll tell you something that I do seriously. If I go to one of the big box stores and I see something that's kind of a neutral product, cereal, toothpaste, we all need that. We all eat it sometime. And then they'll have one of those signs, you know, 2 for this price and then $3 off today or $5. I'll actually purchase that there and then drop it off to a food bank in my area. So for neighbors who are doing this, if you're out, or maybe even you got the wrong jelly that you don't like or something when you were in the store, take it and give it to the food bank. Don't let it sit on the counter. You know, it's the kind of thing the kids go, ooh, I'm not going to eat that. It's the store brand. I want Welch's or something. Okay, but you might be saving someone's life, or it might be just something that really makes their day. It's a good tasting dessert or product or peanut butter and jelly sandwich, whatever. Can you tell us some of the things you offer that people may not know or be aware of so that if they needed these products that you might have them there? Well,
we get a lot of different types of items. So we get a lot of like over-the-counter drugs. Organizations donate Tylenol. They donate, eye drop medication. They donate heating pads, all types of, household items that one might need. We get
vitamins.
Yes.
I never
Sunscreen.
Thought of that. Wow, no, but It is good. I mean, no, if you have, especially children, if they're out in the sun and during the summer and the hot months and when the sun is strongest, you do need that. That's an important product. I know my grandson, they don't let him out in the backyard without being sprayed down. And today, we're being very careful with sunscreen when I say that. And I just never thought of Tylenol and sunscreen, but there's two items that people could donate, maybe have excess amount of, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, protein bars, protein powders we get. All kinds of good stuff, And
I'm thinking, too, sometimes you just go to the store and you pick up the wrong product. And you say, oh, I wanted this style of, sports drink. And I picked up the wrong one. Well, if you don't like the other one, donate it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's good. It's sealed in the bottle. You can be helping someone and doing good at the same time. And it makes the donor feel very good because you're doing something for your fellow neighbor. Somewhere in there, that person might return the favor to you.
Right.
Matt?
Christina, as we previously stated, you are one of the volunteers of the organization, correct?
That's correct.
What would you say your daily life as a volunteer, your job when you go to work as a volunteer, what does that entail? And what can people that volunteer expect to have the responsibilities of if they volunteer with the Manna Project of Long Island?
So good question. We're a lean team right now, so I do a lot of work currently. And my week consists of, going to various food banks, picking up food, loading it in my car, bringing it back to the church, putting in the refrigerator, sorting through items, looking at our inventory. So we do a lot of that, throughout the week, about 4 pickups a week. So I think 4 days out of 5 days we are picking up items. And yeah, I mean that's really the gist of it, and the most important part of it is collecting the foods.
Collecting the foods and also the grant writing. Please don't forget that.
Oh, tell us about that.
That's a lot.
Yeah, no, really, that sounds very important.
Yes. So we are in the process of applying for lots of different grants, and we didn't have any prior experience running a nonprofit organization, so we can't really afford to hire grant writers at this particular juncture. So we watch a lot of videos, we do a lot of reading, we try to teach ourselves, and we learn from trial and error on how to write grants, and try to find a way to bring in funds to support our organization.
And we also have, I just want to add, we also have a lot of people behind us helping us, like the Small Business Development Center. We have Nassau County Office of Minority Affairs. So we have people that's actually helping us when it comes to the things that we need running the business. So they're like the angels behind it.
Mentors,
like
yeah,
definitely.
really.
Are there some organizations or even people themselves that of maybe a certain type, and you'll see what I'm getting at, that have found a way to donate something to you that we wouldn't think of, meaning people on the outside of your organization? As you mentioned, Tylenol and sunscreen, those are products I wouldn't have thought of. Are there ways that people donate either product or ability or money to you that would surprise a lot of us? I'm just thinking, myself, sometimes I come home and say, I bought the wrong so-and-so. And or why did I buy this? I may have been talking to someone, I just picked up a bottle, or someone convinced me, try it. Okay, I don't want this. Does that happen a lot? Do you wind up getting it from like estates law offices, places we wouldn't expect?
No, I don't think there's any unusual, but so we get sometimes donations in the form of gift cards. We'll go to Target will give us gift cards. They don't give cash. They don't send items from the store, but they'll say, here's a gift card. You can go into the store and buy what you need.
Target.
Yeah, and they've been a huge support for the Manna Project of Long Island.
And I'm glad you're giving them credit, because there are many businesses, large and small, who are, and we find out obviously on the show because we talk to them in different aspects, how much the Long Island businesses give back and help people. And for them to give a card like that, that's great, because then the people can actually get what they need. And maybe it's a medical product that toothpaste or aspirin or something from the pharmacy there. And Target has just about everything.
They're excellent in helping.
Yeah.
Target.
Well, hats off to Target. Thank you, Target. There's free publicity for you.
Yeah.
Inflation has definitely affected everybody, so I'm wondering, has the high inflation and rising food prices had an effect on the pantry's ability to serve the community?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we don't really get, and we know this by talking to some of the food banks that give us food, that their supply is much lower than it was, prior to the pandemic. Everyone's hurting. The whole food supply chain has been affected by inflation, which is due to so many, factors, as we know, the after effects of COVID, the war in Ukraine, extreme changes in our climate with droughts and fires and all kinds of things that really affect how food goes through the system. So we've been affected by that, and we run out of food a lot of times, which is sad to see, but it does happen because there's so many people who are in need, and the demand right now is just so much greater than the supply.
And can I just also add?
You can add whatever you wish.
So definitely, yes, it affects the food charities, because you have to think when the food prices is going up, inflation, everything, gas, everything's going up. And just the last time I had a client, and she basically was saying because a whole bunch of people was coming into New York and they didn't have, with immigration. And so she was saying, so she has more family living with her, so she needed more food. So yes, it puts a strain on food charities. So you think the more people come, especially in times of hardship, the more pressure it will put on food charities. So it's very important so that it's not only food charities, it's about the community. It's about people helping one another. I can't stress that enough.
Well, you can stress it as much as you want on our show because, no, you make a great point, and it's true. And we're helping our neighbor. And as we said before, some of the food pantries have told us the same people who were donating several months ago are now on the other side of the line coming back. So you never know when it's going to be you. Something adverse hits, whether it's pandemic, weather-related, or just family emergency or something. You do for others, it will come back for you.
So in the more things go up, the increasing in, the foods go up, so does the providing, the cost of it. So it puts more of a strain on us.
Oh, absolutely.
Because when it goes up, we have to go up. So
You are listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College 90.3 WHPC. My name is Matt Leonard along with Bill Horan, and today we're learning all about the Manna Project of Long Island, a food pantry that serves Nassau County and its adjacent communities with a goal to end food insecurity for adults and children in the communities they serve. Our guests today are Yvette Hester, the founder and CEO, and Christina Curry, a volunteer with the Manna Project of Long Island. Do you guys work with other larger food pantries such as Island Harvest or any other organization on Long Island? Do you guys work side by side? Is it a team effort?
Well, we're kind of all in it together. Like we don't say that we compete with other pantries. We're all working for the same common goal. As I think Yvette mentioned earlier, we are a member of Island Harvest, and we're in the process of becoming a member with Long Island Cares. Those are the to my knowledge, the only two food banks serving Long Island. So eventually we'll be a member of both of them and then collecting food from a lot of other local businesses. And I also want to say, and maybe people don't realize it, but probably it's obvious that there are so many other organizations, big, businesses like Amazon Fresh, like Trader Joe's. So they're donating their food to Island Cares and the major food banks, and we benefit from that as well. So we try to, maybe go to I'll say mom and pop type supermarkets in our local community to try to get extra food items because the bigger stores like the Stop and Shops or the ShopRites, they're already given to the bigger food banks.
And could I just add?
You can add anything. Okay. Remember, you're the boss. You're the founder.
It's also very important because you learn as you go. And that's what we do every day. You're learning as you go. And I noticed that there's a lot of times, people, they will give to the big food banks, as they should. But then also they have to remember the small food pantries, the food charities, because a lot of times they'll give you what they have. And that necessarily doesn't mean that's what your clients want. So they can give you a whole bunch of this, but they don't want it. So it's very important that people be mindful to know when they're giving, which is great. We appreciate everything, but they have to see the needs of the small food pantries because their clients have their different likes and dislikes when it comes to food. And we don't want nothing to go to waste, absolutely nothing. So I think that's very important that they remember when helping that they sometimes individually have to help the small banks and see what their needs are because everybody's needs are different.
And Yvette, thank you for pointing that out. I'm just thinking while you were talking that this is a great opportunity if parents are out there that they always want their children to do well, or schools or school projects or Eagle Scout projects. But even in its simplest way, if someone took a shopping bag and went up and down the block and asked for one or two canned goods or a gift card or whatever you tell us might be there. Maybe it's even those kits that the dental office gives you, and most people kind of put them away, and then they have 10 or 12 of them. And it's like, what am I going to do with all this? There's mouthwash, there's toothpaste, there's floss in there, etc. So at no cost or minimal cost to them, they could be giving you something that could help a life, help people and care. And also, make it known to students that they're very lucky. They are going to sit down to a dinner probably tonight and a breakfast tomorrow morning, and not everybody has that. For some, it might be a one meal a day. For our audience, tell us, where are you physically located if they're looking to come into you?
We're at 4 Henry Street in Inwood, New York.
Okay, in Nassau County.
Nassau County.
St. John's Baptist Church.
St. John's Baptist Church. Okay, so our audience knows physically if they're looking. And once again, give us that website.
tmpny.org, as in the Manna Project, ny.org.
Easy enough to remember. What type of annual events do you have, if any?
That's a great question. So actually, this past summer, we just did a community health fair. It was our first community health fair. We partnered with LIJ, Northwell,
St. Francis
Heart Hospital. There were so many different healthcare organizations that came out to support us. This was July 30th, right? And it was a major event. So we will be doing that on an annual basis. We also do we do back to school. We give out back to school supplies, which we just did a couple of weeks ago, and we hold an annual turkey giveaway for the Thanksgiving holiday,
and then the children for
Christmas. And we also distribute toys for the holidays to kids. Around December. So, yeah, those are some of the other programs that we have going on to help people in other ways.
I don't know when you ladies get to sleep, but if you're doing all this, you don't. Well, that's a good way to work the business. If you work 24 hours a day, then it's easy. This is a piece of cake. But I'm sure there's a lot of people out there hearing this, and they might even say, hey, we could put a box in our law office or a dental office. They could help out in different ways, or maybe offer some of their expertise, or even if they want to do it, I'm sure check, cash, store cards, like you said, Target. So there's a lot of ways. If you want to do good, these ladies will find a way to help you and make it worthwhile and let you enjoy life as much as they're enjoying it. We want to thank our guest today, Yvette Hester, the founder and CEO, and Christina Curry, volunteers with the Manna Project of Long Island. Ladies, thank you so much for your time and for being with us.
Thank you.
I'm Bill Horan. I'm here with Matt Leonard. We thank you for listening to this week's special edition of My Hometown.
We'd like to get your feedback on My Hometown. Send your comments to WHPC@ncc.edu. Nassau Community College, where success starts and continues. Till next time, this is Bill St. James. And remember, there's no town like your hometown.